Afternoon, yeah. Welcome to day 20.
Hello, please. Let me take a look at this.
Welcome to.
Day 20 of Listmas. That's right. We've officially entered the final 6 days of this marathon. On and today will be another one of my lists. This and the last of the three Kirby lists. In this case, I will be discussing copy abilities once more. Now, this is going to be a bit different from, for really any other list this month.
Yeah, this one doesn't really have.
This is originally going to be a top 10, 20, 30, 35 list, but, well, I had a lot of trouble narrowing it down, so I am in no particular order, I am just going to be listing off what abilities I would like to see in the next Kirby game, assuming it follows the same style and ability upgrade system as Forgotten Land did.
Yeah.
And I think that's all I need to say about it.
This might be a little shorter video. This one might be a little shorter.
Yeah, this is going to be a much shorter video.
Very unstructured.
There's no real structure to it. It's just going to be me, it's just going to be me rambling for who knows how long about copy abilities and what I think should be in the next game and why.
So, let's start.
Let's start off with... Well, I sort of semi-divided these into categories, which is how I decided the order of this. And this first category is abilities I was surprised weren't in Forgotten Land.
Yeah.
And because they're so prolific to the series as a whole now.
Mm-hmm.
First being Beam. Beam is one of the most surprising exclusions for me. Though I suppose it's not as surprising if you consider that its premier enemy, Waddle Doo, who wouldn't really fit in as part of the Beast Pack.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
They have to find a replacement for it, but still, come on, even just not being in a Kirby game, that's unheard of nowadays. Hey, though I suppose a 3D Kirby game is also somewhat unheard of.
Yeah.
Perhaps they just couldn't figure out how to balance it before a release, and they just decided it wasn't important enough to include it.
Yeah, probably.
That being said, and if we do get if the next Kirby game is in the same style as Forgotten Land, and I'm fairly confident that Beam will make it in.
Yeah.
And because, like, come on, it's one of the most iconic Kirby abilities.
You guys got Alexa on?
We're doing our video right now.
Yeah.
The next ability, which is also the same category as this, would be Stone.
Yeah.
Stone is another very prolific ability of the Kirby series, and this is one that's just it's like I sort of understand why it wasn't included when they gave Ice a super shield.
Yeah.
Making that that and Gigant Sword the defensive weapons of this game, but
yeah.
But still, it would have been cool to see Stone in the game. And plus, I'm very interested in what they might do for upgrades, which is where a lot of the ideas for this come from. And it's also somewhat me talking about what I think they could do for upgrading abilities.
Didn't really go up what they could do for Beam.
Yeah, I didn't really go up what they could do for Beam. I'm thinking perhaps Up's Twin Beam could be a good upgrade for it. It's sort of like Twin Drill, have two beams at once, that spin around on Kirby.
Yeah.
At the same time, sort of think the Cycle Beam from the Return to Dreamland, but it's in but you do it on the ground and it surrounds Kirby, and there's two of them, or in the air.
Yeah.
Here, and maybe if for a third stage, it could be some kind of homing beam.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure, but Beam's mainly on this list because it's so prolific.
So what about Stone?
Stone is interesting. I think a good idea for upgrading it could be causing the ground to shake, and it can extend. It can create a shockwave when you land with it.
Ah, yeah.
Which would actually make it a lot more usable because as in its base form, stone is like infinitely less practical to use for combat in a 3D space. Like, so giving it a quake effect would alleviate that. Hell, that's literally what they did in Kirby Battle Royale.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, giving stone a quake effect. So I'm pretty confident that at least some form of stone will have a quake effect if it gets it into the next game.
All right. Then there's Spark.
And there's Spark / Plasma lumped together because they're basically the same ability, with different names sometimes. So these guys I would mainly like to see because, like, come on, it's weird not to have a proper thunder-based ability. You've Forgotten Land, and the only thing we really had was Storm Tornado, I think it was called. It was the highest tornado tier.
Yeah.
I don't remember all the level names. Things which created lightning. And while that is cool, I'd like a fully lightning-based ability.
Yeah.
Your Spark / Plasma are iconic enough to be an easy fit into that slot. I think their lightning attacks could be expanded upon on 3D.
Yeah.
He may be specifically targeting all the enemies around you instead of just directly above you.
Yeah.
Because, like, targeting directly above Kirby isn't as useful in 3D. And of course, or it's having the controller shake to surround you with a barrier, or is also still just a very helpful trait to have. And the normal blast for or it probably wouldn't be super useful, but I think with some new tricks, one of these abilities could work really well in 3D. Yeah. Next, we get into a pair of abilities that are somewhat themed around with each other: Beetle and Spider.
Yeah. Beetle.
Beetle. I don't even need to say anything. I just think Beetle would be amazing to have in the game. Because, like, Beetle, it's Beetle. I've rambled about how much I love Beetle in the previous this video.
What could they do against it?
Well, first off, I think the most obvious direction to take it is to make the horn crazier, or maybe give it multiple horns. I know there's that one Beetle costume in Kirby Fighter. There's 2 that references one of the legendary vehicles from Air Ride. Right, and I think that'd be a cool thing to bring into the next game. Game 2. Or perhaps having a longer horn that can skew or that can hold on to several enemies at once. To just increase your attack range a ton. I'm not really quite sure what else they could do with it, but I am sure they'd think of something. Maybe increase aerial mobility for one of the upgrades. It's gonna allow you to lock onto targets. Hits. So, and then we get into Spider. Like, I wanted to pick some kind of grappling ability for and of course, I had to go with Spider for that. Because it's just so fun to use. And I can imagine it working really well on 3D. And the whole web trapping thing could be a lot more interesting in a 3D space too. So, like, I don't really have much to say about it. So as for upgrades, it's maybe the attacks could leave some kind of poison effect on bosses and mini bosses. It is, or make the web stronger. That would be interesting, I think. So the next pair of abilities is Mike / Cook.
Yeah.
I want to see these for basically the same reason. And we saw what they did with Crash, Ash and Sleep. He was one-off abilities. So I kind of do want to see more of these. You know what they do with them. Between these two, I think Mike is more likely to make it into the next game. Main thing for Cook being how do you communicate what its range is?
Yeah.
Isn't 3D. Like Crash has the feel, the force field for you to get a good a vibe of it. Cook doesn't really have. We're doing a video now. Yeah. Yeah. What? What? Okay. I don't know. We'll discuss it. Whites. We'll discuss it later.
I can't hear you.
What we're doing. We're doing a video, please.
What'd you say again?
We're doing a video right now. Could you talk to Mom? She knows. She knows what we're having. Okay. So next. So.
I'm making your mom buy you whites tonight.
Yeah, you said that, and she said that already. Okay.
All right.
Come on.
All right.
The next Stop.
Stop.
It's a rolling camera.
Could you please go? You're distracting me.
The old-fashioned way. Love you guys.
Okay, so Mike and Cook.
Sorry, I'm not part of your world.
I think I could potentially just be upgraded to have either more tiers or be a normal ability. Because its effect wouldn't be with the proper radius wouldn't be as like the directly shooting forward effect wouldn't be as overpowered in 3D. Or they could do something with music notes. Also, I'm not quite sure of. For Cook, I think it'd be funny if you got like slashing attacks with it. And the sorry about that. And perhaps enhancing the recovery ability of it, it as well. Or maybe allowing for what?
I don't know. Or, I don't know. Or you could also. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. Or maybe you could actually use some of fucking Kawasaki's moves.
Yeah, use some of Kawasaki's ladle and dish attacks too.
Make it a proper ability. Make it. You
get a proper ability with the healing portion on a recharge timer.
Yeah, you could make this work into an actual.
Yeah. Cook would be an ability that I'd love to see expanded into more than just a single use.
Yeah.
It was because Star Allies proved that it can work like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Kawasaki is. I mean, you can play it as Kawasaki.
So I would be super excited to see it make a spectacular return.
So, and then water and poison.
Water and poison lumped together because they're similar. I just think it'd be cool to ride waves of water or sludge. Jim, and just I to bowl through opponents like that.
Yeah.
The jet ability, the smoke screen ability of poison could be fun to utilize. Ice too. Maybe let you breathe it continuously and angle it like fire and ice.
Yeah.
Ice and smoke clouds. I could see poison being upgraded into some kind of toxic kind of smoke ability. Putting emphasis on the breath eating aspect of it. And there's also maybe tar, which also slows down enemies. This would be an interesting permutation of it. Of course, there's also the whole jet thing. Which I think could be made a lot more interesting. Like maybe allow the jet more angle control. Let you launch yourself off with it.
I don't know. Maybe you could get poison some kind of interaction with fire.
Ooh, yeah. If you giving poison some kind of interaction with burning objects, like perhaps us creating explosions, ends or just sending or just making the cloud I'll just burn. Or a burning cloud would be that makes it grow in size and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. I don't know exactly how I'd want it to
Yeah.
work, but that does sound like a cool interaction.
Yeah. Then we have a leaf.
Leaf.
Oh,
Another ability mainly used for its defensive functionality,
yeah.
but it is, and I would like to see it mainly for or whatever kind of crazy upgrades they could think of for it.
Mm-hmm.
Leaf being somewhat of a plain and underwhelming ability, but normally, aside from its spectacular defense, it could lend to some interesting upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
It's like maybe the final upgrade could be some kind of like magical tree Kirby. Like upgrade your leaf uppercut attack, upgrade some of your attacks to incorporate wood into them.
Nice.
Yeah, and have and the uppercut can grow a giant tree, and maybe the tree can drop healing items.
I don't know.
Ooh, Wispy Leaf should be the
Wispy-
final upgrade.
Wispy leaf.
The third upgrade should be Wispy Leaf.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Now I want to see this ability in the next game even more. That'd be great.
I mean, I like ESP.
ESP.
That could just.
But it would just be cool. Cool and fun. I don't know exactly how controlling the orbs would work in 3D. But I have enough faith in Al that they could make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, what kind of abilities and of upgrades would it have? Now, I feel like one of the upgrades would definitely have Kirby with a massive brain or something.
Big brain Kirby.
Big brain Kirby. And the and maybe you allow him to just target enemies and make them blow up without sending out a projectile directly. He would be funny.
Mind break.
Yeah, just us enemies that are within range will just us to blow up in psychic energy.
Yup, fucking mind break attack.
It maybe as a charge.
Yeah.
I think that'd be super fun to do.
Yeah.
It would be a nice way to translate the ability and expand upon it. Next, we have some weapon-based abilities.
Spear is
these all have what these all have in common is it's basically Kirby holds thing and attacks with thing.
Oh. Yeah.
Starting with Spear.
This is a surprising mission.
Spear is one that I'm surprised wasn't in Forgotten Land, considering that in the Bandana Waddle Dee basically has a full Spear moveset to his own.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised they didn't just make it a regular ability.
Mm-hmm.
They could have easily reworked the concept of the bees with the spears and ears from Triple Deluxe.
Yeah.
And incorporated them into the Beast Pack.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're insect division or something like that.
Yeah. As their hive mind.
Their hive mind. It'd be funny if they brought back the whole insect thing and for the next antagonist associated with the Beast Pack this time.
Yeah,
or maybe follow up on whatever or Tyranza's past is.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, either way, yeah. Spear, Spear.
Spear would be a cool ability to have.
It's just a little weird that it wasn't there.
As for upgrades, I could see Javelin Spear being one, perhaps upgrading the throwing range, ancient power, or or maybe giving you a charge attack where you dash forward holding the spear and impale things.
Yeah.
And so like adjust your angle.
Yeah.
I think that could be fun. I'd also really like to see. I don't know what I was going to say even. I don't even know what I was going to say there, but yeah. And of course, or an upgrade referencing bandana waddle. He would probably be include like bandana spear.
Yeah.
You're,
given a hammer and sword have
or have DDD and Meta Knight themed upgrades.
Yeah, bandana D.
Bandana D would almost certainly have a relevant upgrade for spear.
Mm-hmm. And then we have staff.
Staff Kirby is an ability that's quite similar to spear, but I think would be a little more interesting with the whole extending thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like, imagine just having the spear be giant. The staff, I'll just grow to absurd lengths and just spinning around and sweeping away everything around you.
Mm-hmm.
Or the pogo stick functionality, your bluster staff being incorporated into it.
Mm-hmm.
It would also be really cool to witness.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, and I think that's all I have to say about staff.
Yeah.
And next to be whip. I mainly just want to see what kind of upgrades they'd give this.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously it'd translate well to 3D. Yeah, I'm not concerned about that part. I just want to see how they'd make whip more interesting, because currently it's not really one of my favorite abilities.
Maybe you could upgrade it into a flail.
Ooh, flail would be a great idea.
That was mainly just my inner Castlevania speaking.
Yeah.
Leather whip to a flail.
Yeah, upgrade the whip to a flail. That would be genius, actually. A flail whip.
Yeah, the fucking in ball at the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a super fun way to upgrade it. Maybe the downside could be that it swings slower when you upgrade it.
And you could also use it for platforming and shit and stuff.
Yeah, whip it could grab ledges. Is or maybe swing from specialized hooks.
Yeah, okay. Damn it! This is just.
This feels like Castlevania now.
This is just my inner Castlevania speaking.
Yeah.
And you could do so much with the whip.
If in a 3D space, Ace, and I would really like to see them try to expand upon this underdeveloped ability.
Mm-hmm.
Yo-yo, very similar to whip, and that you're just swinging around a thing on a string. Actually, yo-yo would make more sense to have the flail upgrade.
Yeah, that would, yeah.
Because you're already swinging an object on the end of a string.
Yeah.
Maybe thorn yo-yo, maybe blade yo-yo is the first upgrade, and the second upgrade could be flail yo-yo.
Yeah.
Or morning star yo-yo.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a lot more logical of a regression than from whip.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
With the whole, and plus the idea of Kirby doing tricks with a flail is endlessly amusing to me.
Yeah. So, yeah, you just do a lot with that.
There's just a lot you can do, and of course, or the whole yo-yo X would translate pretty well into 3D. Archer. Or I guess Ranger's sort of a spiritual successor to Archer, but I'd like to see what kind of direction they could take Archer to differentiate it from Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Or like maybe how, like obviously, like what I think Archer could do was maybe emphasize the stealth aspect of it. It'd allow you to blend in with your environment, make enemies not able to spot you. Like for upgrades, is obviously more arrows. Also makes sense. Maybe they could even make another Zelda reference and have light arrows as the highest upgrade.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, pierce through all enemies.
Maybe they could even combine it with. Maybe they could even bring back the Cupid ability as an enhanced version of Archer.
Yeah, I think you brought that up.
Or Wing or
Or
whatever.
Wing. Yeah, those were wings.
Maybe they could just merge them into Cupid. And I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Circus.
Circus! It's Kirby. The third dimension opens up a lot of possibilities to get even crazier with Circus Kirby. I don't remember if he had an ability where he rode around on a ball. Or from just thinking of marks.
You might be just thinking of marks.
But either way, that should be an ability Circus Kirby gets. And would be especially amusingly awkward to use in 3D as it would be fun.
Yeah.
And of course, the hoop jump would be an interesting mobility tool. Or to get up ledges. There'd be maybe you could add a move where he throws pies.
Yeah.
I think the final upgrade could be like Big Top Circus or something.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really neat.
Doctor.
This one would be very amusing to see return, or mainly for what kind of upgrades it could have. I was thinking some kind of Plague Doctor upgrade would make sense.
Yeah.
It's like, what do we just Plague Doctor Kirby? Perhaps another stage could be Mad Doctor Kirby.
Yeah.
I just think those would be really cool upgrade concepts. That would work naturally with him. And perhaps making perhaps Mad Doctor could make the potion effect stronger. Or in hell, Plague Doctor could pull from Plague Knight and make the pills into explosives.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a neat reference.
Yeah.
And boop, 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 boop.
Yeah. Then we have Artist.
Artist is just a cool ability. And I'd love to see what they do with it. I have a feeling they'd have something based on Elaine or Aine for one of the upgrades.
Yeah.
And the or maybe even Drossia.
Yeah.
Would be interesting. I think the idea of making paintings come to life is something in that they could go even crazier with now. And I also and it would also be a neat touch if you could if the paint splatters could be used to arc walls and stuff. Or I could see puzzle like altering signs to redirect a vehicle or something. And it's just I really would like to see what they do with it. So next would be on this list is magic.
Yeah.
Oh, magic.
Yep.
This is just an ability that's forgotten about a lot. I could honestly see this being combined with circus.
Yeah.
The whole card throwing thing works. Maybe the birds could be turned into homing projectiles.
Oh yeah.
Also, the Jack in the Box ox just bounces around and maybe does a spin.
That does sound like a clownly power.
Yeah, it does sound like a clownly power. or just like having a sick sense of humor. So,
Yeah. So yeah, magic would just
that'd be
magic.
cool to see.
Yeah, if you like merged magic and circus.
So maybe like have a sort of masked magician upgrade and type upgrade to it.
Hmm.
And I don't really know. It'd just be cool to see it expanded upon on because it's one that's basically just been forgotten.
Hmm.
And
Bubble.
yeah, and going on from and continuing with that trend, we're kind of knee deep in territory of abilities that had like one actual appearance.
Yeah.
And so right now, our magic's like sort of tangentially related to that. If it's because like, are you really gonna count it being a one use ability in Amazing Mirror?
Yeah.
Or that feels more fair to count Squeak Squad as its a main appearance.
So how would you differentiate bubble from water?
Well, you attack with bubbles that you can angle like fire or an ice.
Hmm.
Ice, and I think the idea of trapping enemies in bubbles and blowing them around would be extremely amusing.
Hmm.
Of bubbles make enemies drop up food out of bubble bobble. Well, that'd be. I think that'd be a really fun concept to play with.
Hmm.
Here.
Uh,
And I just like the idea of bringing back a bubble.
How about animal?
Animal is another ability I think would be fun, and could be a natural expansion and of the previous game's focus on animal characters.
Hmm.
Or maybe they could have a Woofy's is a rarer enemy type in the next game and have them give animal.
I mean, to be fair, making them rare would make sense.
Oh yeah, considering Kirby's basically been hunting them to extinction.
You've been congrats on slaughtering 1 billion of Woofies.
You have like the feral Woofy variant, just the animal ability enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd work really well.
Yeah.
And of course, animal could also work similarly to drill and digging into the ground.
Hmm.
But I was thinking it could also maybe let you climb walls.
Hmm.
All those mall enemies use and
Maybe even sniff out secrets.
ooh, sniffing out hidden items would be an interesting utility for it. It
Yeah.
would actually give it something interesting to differentiate it too.
Yeah.
That'd be really neat.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would stop it from becoming just a worse drill.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, so moving on from animal, we have ball.
Okay.
I mainly just want to see it on a bounce around and be ridiculous in 3D.
This is really just a stupid one.
This one would be fucking hilarious to use.
Yeah. This.
Whose ball is already a stupidly impractical ability, and I just love to be able to bounce around with it. And you know, it's an ability from Kirby's Adventure that has some potential to be done to have something interesting go on with it.
Yeah.
So I think it could be about time Ball made a return.
Yeah. Now with the newer ability
System. Maybe let you, and since it's in 3D, maybe let the player or press the B button and to slam to the ground.
Yeah.
I'm to control their bounces more.
Kirby will never be ballin'.
Oh shit, he balling.
Next up is mirror.
Mirror. I think the whole creating clones aspect could work really well, and maybe even expand on the clone idea into Kirby's that'll chase down enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Or when fully upgraded, maybe even just have full on projections of Kirby mimicking his movements and attacking alongside him. I'm sort of like like which one was it? The ability you get from it's a Mega Man ability.
Oh,
Is it Zero's where he basically just has an extension of himself?
yeah, Twin Dream.
Twin Dream, even from Mega Man,
Yeah.
and that's a good way to describe what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
You can control an army of Kirbys that move in sync.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could even work more like the double cherry for the Mario series.
Yeah, it could work like that.
Is it? I just think it'd be a really cool concept
Yeah.
to mess around with.
Yeah, I think as mentioned before, Cupid and Wing.
Cupid and Wing. These are next to each other because, well, first let's talk about Wing actually,
Yeah.
because as Wing.
I mean,
oh boy, do you?
Kirby does have limited flight now.
Oh, having an ability that expands aerial mobility. I rhymed that again today.
Damn it.
And now it would just be a really good concept to do.
Mhm.
And I'd love to see something like that with Kirby's nerfed hover or to accommodate for 3D gameplay.
Mhm.
I just think it'd be really neat. And it'd work really well on this new style. Just imagine like the desert level, the open desert level from World 5. I think it was 5.
Yeah.
I was the one with Silly Dillo as the boss.
Yeah.
Imagine that in a level like that, but you're just soaring over it.
Yeah.
And it can swoop down and attack enemies. I think a Dynablade wing would be a good upgrade for it too.
Oh, yeah.
Giving your wings an active hitbox as you glide.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be killing enemies that come near you.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it could also be combined with Cupid and allow and have the arrows as a direct upgrade to your feather or shot.
Yeah.
Which I think would be a really cool idea. Hell, perhaps the second and upgrade could be called like Angel Wing, and the third, or it could be Dynablade Wing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And well, on the topic of
Cupid.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I basically already just covered Cupid and how it'd be an ability that I mainly like to see either as a combination of or upgrade of Archer and Wing.
Yeah.
Because that feels like the most natural way to revive that ability.
Yeah, Cupid on its own just sucks as an ability.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to make it into something fun.
Yeah. Then we have a wheel.
Wheel Kirby. This I want to see for similar reasons to Wing. Just
mobility.
The mobility upgrades. I love the idea of just of rolling really fat ass through levels, sort of like a car, sort of like the car mouth out the Forgotten Land.
Yeah.
But a little less heavy feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like a more snappy version of car mouth.
Mm-hmm.
They already have the turning physics and mechanics in place from that game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it'd be a natural and having wheel in would be a natural progression of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
now we get into
missile, one of the another flight based mobility tool.
Mm-hmm.
This one I think and could actually be an upgrade of Jet.
Yeah.
With the missile sort of a more or controllable version, and that it explodes when you make contact with an enemy or wall.
Yeah, fighter jet.
Yeah, fighter jet would be a good jet upgrade. We'll just have you soar around and drop bombs.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of potential for making one or both of these abilities really cool to use. Listen, I'd love to see it for the same reasons as Wing. Just a soaring over stuff would be awesome. And now one ability I think should return, perhaps as a bonus instead of out of a proper ability, because the way it
this would be
functions
hella
would
broken.
UFO. Of course, Ursa beam should function like I mentioned with the beam ability here, and the UFO flight would be pretty broken. I don't think there's a way to naturally make it feel all right for it to just sort of fall down over time. Though I think having a height limit would be fine. Fine. I just think it'd be really amusing and to just fly around and maybe abduct enemies. Use this version of the attack of the ability, sort of like how it works in Epic Yarn. And
yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm bad with words. And the
UFO.
And UFO, it'd be cool to also see the sort of laser blasts us be upgraded and just and what would they upgrade it with?
Oh.
And what kind of upgrades would UFO get? Like mothership?
No.
If we're like massive, that would be hilarious.
Yeah. This sounds a.
All right, and next is a bit more. I didn't mean to include that there.
Well,
Or it's not supposed to be on the list twice. Remove that for now. No, remove the top version.
Okay.
Hey, that's meant to be the last ability we discuss. Next, on the topic of crazy secret abilities,
You got Smash Kirby.
got Smash Kirby. I've already discussed. I used to discuss the idea of Smash Bros. In 3D before.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
When I was younger, and it'd be funny to see them try to translate Kirby's Smash moveset into 3D.
Yeah.
Considering a lot of the stuff from it are just abilities he has.
Yeah.
As in game. And it would go alongside other abilities he's added. And what kind of upgrades would he have? Would one of them be like Final Smash Kirby?
Oh my god.
He just makes his abilities stronger?
Yeah.
I just think it would be a really fun concept.
Yeah.
Have to mess around with. Good. And moving on from that, Fighter Kirby.
Yeah.
This one would be so fun in 3D. You just from beat him up to hack it and slash.
Yep.
Or well, still beat him up in 3D. But
yeah, 3D beat him up. Yeah.
But I think it would feel super satisfying to use.
Yeah.
You got spin kicks, you got drop kicks, you got fire kicks, you got upgrades. Well, yes, upgrades, but you got uppercuts. Downer cuts.
Downer?
No, you don't. You have the Hadouken and the energy blast.
Yeah.
I just think Fighter would be really fun to add. It has the potential to be really cool in 3D.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what kind of upgrades it would have, but as is now, I think it would be really fun to see.
Then there's
a wrestler Kirby in the same vein as Fighter.
I'm surprised this wasn't in Forgotten Land.
Yeah, especially because as the amount of stuff you could do with this ability in a 3D space.
It feels like
With
it
its
feels,
already complex moveset.
yeah. This kind of feels tailor made for 3D.
Yeah, it just feels like it was designed to work with more or room to maneuver. And I really feel like that sort of thing could make this ability a fan favorite easily.
This doesn't need. This shouldn't be locked to one to a spinoff.
I think maybe one of the some of the upgrade is could be face wrestler or heel wrestler.
Yeah.
Or maybe macho wrestler. or there's just all sorts of cool stuff you could do with it. You know, that kind of sums up most of these abilities. And now one I personally really want to see, Ninja. Well, all of these are ones I really want to see, but Ninja is one of my top ones. On stuff like the dash, Ash and the quad shot and the would translate well to 3D. Maybe give of the kunai homing properties. He's upgrading it would be really interesting. I think Samurai would be an obvious upgrade for one of them. Just increase the power of the sword.
Samurai Kirby.
Yeah, and of course would serve as a fun reference to as to an old school minigame as well. Maybe the top your of it would be Shogun Kirby.
Yeah.
Hell, let him wield 2 swords or something.
2 swords.
That would be hilarious.
What?
I just think Ninja would be a super fun ability to see.
I don't know. Maybe you have like a after him thing with the clone attack.
Ooh, yeah, like when you do the dash, you leave behind. His blinking clones that then explode in a puff of smoke.
Yeah.
God damn it! Enemy is nearby. Them.
Yeah.
That would be extremely cool.
Yeah, that's and then Ninja like.
Yeah, that feels like a cool idea for an attack. Maybe upgrade the kunai to shurikens, and possibly giving them piercing damage, too, so they can shoot through multiple enemies.
Yeah.
I just think there are so many different things that can be done in regards to Ninja, and it's just the idea is very exciting to me, and I really hope we get to see it in the next game.
So, cleaning
Kirby, he is definitely an oddball. All one. So, for this one, yes. Okay. So for cleaning Kirby, obviously I like the idea you have the animal friends being part of it in Star Allies. And I think with an expanded moveset, they could probably fit Rick, Kai, and Ku in there as well. Since they're not since they're obviously not in this game. Like maybe you have the upgrade, have one of the upgrade aids just be. Well, for one of the upgrades could be called deep cleaning, and I don't know what the other would be called, but it'd be something regarding to all the animal friends.
Yeah.
And it's like you could have Ku's feather duster attack, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what Rick and Kine got for cleaning. Then you have the bucket from Pitch. You have Nago's a sponge sweep, and Choo Choo's riding for an aerial option. And I just really think it'd be cool and fun, and I like it. And I want to see cleaning get more attention.
So the last one
is Ghost. A weird one, and Yeah, I just want to be able to mess around with enemies and see what kind of attacks you could pull off of them. I mean, I think that feeling would be like just amplified in the 3D space.
Mm-hmm.
It's because like it is so fun to mess around with in Squeak Squad.
Yeah.
Odd. And obviously, there's the whole flight aspect of it too.
Mm. Yeah, this bonus of this extra ability.
Would be super fun to see return, and that's what I'm sad it was only ever used once.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, they already have Ghost Kirby models from Kirby Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it be cool to repurpose them?
Yeah.
Into proper ability.
Yeah.
And I just really want to see it. Maybe give it, maybe with some upgrades, give it attacks of its own. Like maybe conjuring up household items to throw around.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun. Or maybe possessing hordes of enemies at once.
Yeah.
Or making zombies rise from the dead.
Yeah.
Or bones or whatever. I just think it would be and get something that has a lot of potential to work with, and then could result in a super fun ability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's really all I have to say today. And as expected, this has been the shortest video of Listmas so far.
Yeah.
Like literally under an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, tomorrow I will be discussing my top 15 single element monsters from My Singing Monsters. And the following day will be top 20 quad element monsters from My Singing Monsters.
Yeah.
Concluding with 3 very special lists.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Noah once again.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, well the one on the 23rd or is more of a shit post than anything, but but you'll see on Friday.
Yeah. So with that being said, I'm Nosred.
And I'm Amory, and bonjour, my wonderful viewers. See you in the next video. Yeet!